Our third speaker is ex-Air Force AVM Ijaz Malik. He's again involved into promotion of tourism, both on the media and also practically. He has hands-on experience, and he'll talk about some valid suggestions on the issue. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. My problem is that I am sandwiched between two, poles. Dr. Rohantha with a very, elaborate account of the success story of Sri Lanka, and my colleague Mr. Chingiz, highlighting the issues and problems which we are facing in our coastal areas in general and coastal tourism of Balochistan in particular. Sir, I would like to highlight that the problems which are there and the potential, of course, which are there. It is no different than rest of the Pakistan. Almost same, parameters are there which define the state of affair of general, environment of tourism industry in Pakistan, and same is applicable for the coastal belt. Our coastal belt around 1,046 kilometers. Almost 750 out of that resides with the Balochistan ownership. We are devoid of having a proper policy framework, which is the one of the key messages of our all sessions so far since this morning. Unless and until we do proper zoning and have proper framework. Phase-wise, why I was very keen to invite Dr. Rohantha. Back in mid, around 2014 or 13 months, he formulated the 10 years policy for Sri Lankan tourism. They were also struggling with problems like, security, much more than us. And they were struggling with an economy size of around 300 to 400 millions in tourism sectors. And how, with the proper, policy framework, a structured, way forward, they have achieved something like 4 billion industry. So why can't we do that? The biggest problem, in my humble opinion, is that despite the tremendous potential of our coastal and maritime tourism industry, we lack awareness at the highest level. If I just ask this elite house, where we have the elite of the elites of the tourism industry, how many of us have been to coastal areas of Pakistan beyond Sumiani? Maybe very few. I don't want to embarrass people by getting their hand raised. People haven't been there. Our policy makers sitting in Islamabad, how many out of those have ever spent a night beyond Karachi? Even within Balochistan, the power center resides in Quetta, and the dynamics, socio-cultural dynamics of the coastal belt is entirely different than that can be perceived or envisaged sitting in the comfort zone of Quetta. So unless and until, you may ask the question, with my Air Force background, how did I get involved and get fascinated with the serenity of Balochistan? At a time I talked to my colleagues from Navy that I am one of those fortunate people, born and raised in Punjab. I have spent almost 10 years of my, practical life in southern region. And I am very proud to say that I have traveled on ground from Jiwani to Sir Creek area, which not even too many naval officers would have afforded the opportunity to be. I have stayed for 2 years in the Indus Basin coastal area. So I was amazed to see that our policymakers, they do not focus. Small, tiny island nations which have a very limited landmass to support their coastal tourism. They have flourished. They have, developed their total economy on coastal and maritime tourism. But we have not been able to do that. But I think, as somebody, Harun Saab mentioned very aptly this morning, that instead of, just saying that what potential do we have, let's move forward and see what intervention can we do. And I think after we document the recommendations, we should put forward the recommendation and follow those with, the quarters where it really matters, and try to engage private-public partnership. It will come after. First thing is that we should do the zoning so that we know how are we going to develop our coastal area. Secondly, we must promote our south-centric tourism. Unfortunately, for the time being, our entire domestic tourism, which is currently the tourism for us, other than the mountaineers who come to Pakistan, our entire industry is supported by domestic tourism, and people do not go to southern side for tourism because we have never thought the potential. Just imagine if we create a bit of infrastructure for our domestic tourism, have an eco-friendly control of that entity, and promote during the summer break north to south movement of students only, the youngsters only, by affording them a rebated fare on rail and a reasonable accommodation in the forms of even initially hostels or economy or budget motels. How much activity we would generate, and we can offer them all those shades of adventure tourism which is waterborne or water related, be it parasailing, snorkeling, boating, fishing in mangroves, boating in mangroves areas. I mean, people come back and post pictures of Malaysia or Maldives and other places. Even if we go to Turkey, and part of that is in Anatolia is the coastal tourism. We can offer maybe 1/10 of the cost, almost similar experience in Pakistan. So first of all, we have to create those enabling environment where we build the confidence of the investors and the foreign tourist. In the first step, it has to be domestic tourism moving from north to south. Then we must integrate our expat community visiting Pakistan, that they should also have a stop in Karachi and then move out to enjoy their summer days in the you might just enjoying the serenity of our coastal belt. And probably after that we have done the consolidation, then only we will be able to attract the foreigners. People, just see in Turkey, for example, the maximum number of tourists, they come from Russia. Just because they have winters over there and they want to come and enjoy sun and beaches of Turkey. They don't know even the language, but the environment has been so enabling for them that they don't need to move out of their resorts. And they spend $2,000 to $3,000 for the 1 week stay. So if we develop 5 A's of tourism, that is the accessibility, amenities, attractions, activities, and quality accommodations. If we focus on these 5 A's, we can create, develop, and maintain this world-class tourist resorts like any other country in the world. And lastly, the point that I would like to flag, our society has a religious and cultural sensitivities, social sensitivities. And unfortunately, the narrative about coastal tourism doesn't augur well with our, apprehensive kind of mindset. Dr. Rohanta has shown some very beautiful pictures in his presentation where I was not able to focus on the bridge and I was mostly focusing on the model in front of the bridge. But if I include one of that slide in my presentation, I am doomed. So that is the kind, people think that, if we allow beaches to be developed in private sector, probably we are going to hurt the socio-cultural norms of the society. It's not like that. If we put robust system, regulatory framework in place, we can do that within the respect of the local people's sentiment. We have to engage local people. The biggest example is the naval, model for Urmara, for example. The best, relationship we have with the local communities in the Balochistan coastal belt in Urmara. There hasn't been, alhamdulillah, any security issues because those people, they own the naval presence there and Navy owns those people in terms of education, employment, medical facilities and sharing their griefs and sorrows. So if the same, we have to create livelihood, we have to bring local people on board and to start with, I think once we have the recommendation of this panel included in our the larger document, we must pursue it with the policy makers. And I think by creating awareness and let's make an effort to utilize media and social media for creating domestic awareness about Pakistan coastal tourism potential. Thank you very much, sir.